so the next we're gonna have is Patti Jackson, who's running for Pierce County Sheriff. After Patti will be Keith Swain.
Hi, thanks for letting me come out tonight. So I'm Patti Jackson, and I am employed by the Pierce County Sheriff's Department. I am running to be Pierce County Sheriff for this year coming, and so I have 35 years experience working for the Pierce County Sheriff's Department. I've spent the last 10 working, this is my 10th year working as one of the command staff members. I'm currently the number 4 person in the county right now as one of the bureau chiefs. So we go in our hierarchy, we have the Pierce County Sheriff, the Under Sheriff, and then there's 4 bureaus. One of them is the Administration Bureau, and that's gonna be the bureau that has, we call it all things not law enforcement, right? So your IT, your IA, your training, your background, that type of thing. So we do have a chief assigned to that. We have the Chief of Investigations, right? That's the Investigations Bureau. That's the chief that oversees the unit that are your detectives, the people that are out there, the crime analysts and things along those lines, trying to catch up with those crimes that happen afterwards. We have the Chief of Patrol Ops. I'm currently overseeing patrol. We've got about 330 cops out there right now. We've got vacancies on there, and so we're trying to get back. As of today's date, we are actually short a little bit. We're right at about 20 shortages right now for the cops that are on the street, which is a lot. In addition to the people that are not able to work, we've got 34 people going through training. Right, and we have several others that have family care leave, or they're out for, estate paid leave and things along those lines. So I will tell you that in Pierce County right now, we've got a couple firsts, right? Everybody likes to be number 1 at something. Right now, these 2 things that we're number 1 for, I'm not proud of. One of them is in the nation, right? Per capita for a county, right? We are right at the bottom. Washington State is right at the bottom of having the least amount of deputies per capita, right? So per person that's in their district. Pierce County, right? So when you come to this side, Pierce County actually is at the bottom of that even. So we can be first twice. So I just want to make sure that we're all aware of that because it is a big problem for us. So that's the 3rd bureau, and that's who I'm overseeing right now. Micah Lundborg is typically our chief. He's out at the FBI Academy. And then I've also, for the last 9 years, my hat has been worn to oversee the Pierce County Jail. The little hotel that we have out there that is built to house, just south, right, 1750, that's what it's built to house. We've not been able to have that because we've only been budgeted to house about 1296, okay? People ask about, well, why aren't you filling that rascal up? Why aren't you putting everybody in every bed that you have out there? And I will tell you today, funding took a hit for us when we went and we built those jails, okay? They have this thing that we call the new jail. I bring this up for a reason, because every time I speak, whether I'm speaking with my uniform on as a chief, right? I oversee this bureau of 300 deputies, okay? Every time I speak, somebody says, why aren't you filling the jail? You got all these empty beds. Stop asking us for more money to have a bed. That jail that was built in 2002, we took ownership in 2002, right? And we actually put the first body in it in 2003. That jail is built with what they call a direct supervision facility. That means that you open into a room similar to this. There are some gates that put people, fencing that puts people in area. There are 84 individuals in one place with 1 officer. I challenge anybody here from the biggest to the smallest to get in there and have 1 deputy that is unarmed to be watching 84 people. So when we talk about having vacancies, I want each of you to know, or excuse me, not vacancies, when we're not filling that space, I want each of you to know it's not safe. The type of individuals that we have in jail right now are felons, okay? We are 94% felons. 94. That is not what a jail is built for. It's to bring people in. It's to get them through the criminal justice system, right? So that they're actually, before they've been sentenced, and then to move them out to prison, or they do less than a year in a county jail. That's not happening. 97% of the people that are in there are pre-trial status. Okay, I tell you all this because there is a lot of controversy out there right now where people are saying, why don't you fill up the jail? We don't need to give you more people, you're not filling up the jail. We are 38 vacancies for our corrections deputies today, 38. Okay, people say, well, it's not very much, right? We also have new people, we're training new people, right? It's a lot, but here's where I want you to know something. Where people are telling you, hey, how are you gonna do, what are you gonna do to fix these problems, right? I can't fix the street until I fix where you can bring people in, okay? Here's what I want you to hear. May 15th of last year, May 15th, 2023, we were 78 vacancies. 78. I asked the sheriff in 2022, we hired 2 people the entire year. 2022 to work a jail. How many people in here, you or your children, woke up and said, I can see myself working in the jail? That's what I would love to do. I can tell you right now, right? You don't even know what it is, what kind of job. It's a great job. I've got 300 men and women that can work there right now, right? Vacancies though. Anyways, so I was able to very quickly turn around. The sheriff, current sheriff, gave me permission to try. He said, if you think you can hire, hire. I hired over 50 people between June, so May 15th, but you gotta stand the unit up, and the end of the year. Okay, people go, well then why do you still have all these vacancies? People get to retire. People are not leaving to go to other jails. Right? People are leaving because they've done 30 years with us. They've done their time. So we are, through attrition, we bring people out there, okay? When we talk about the things where, and I could have just piggybacked off of Brenda, off of Bill, talking about the unity. My platform is a call for unity and collaboration. That's what I stand on, okay? Recognizing the issue. What's all the lawlessness that's out there right now? We need to find out what's happening, and we need to be able to catch the bad guys. People are going, oh, you don't have a jail to bring them to. We do. We're staffing up, we're doing that. But we've been handcuffed and handicapped by not being able to do certain things. You're seeing a shift. Because when you want to talk about unity, you're seeing a shift. People are tired. We're all tired. You're tired of having your homes broken into. You're tired of having your stores broken into. It's costing us how much money to get some milk, right? Because of all the theft. I think it's become, I'm pretty sure it has become an Olympic sport to be a thief out there, right? I see it, they run from us, they flip us off. It's shifting, we're seeing a shift, pursuit's coming back. Okay, so I wanna make sure that you understand that. Yeah. And we will use it, I'm just telling you that right now, okay? Overcoming division is one of the biggest things that we're having out there. I've heard you talk about it, we need to come together. And so, we need to come together. It's not just, we have proven, we have shown you, we have demonstrated, we cannot police our way out of the situations happening right now. We cannot police our way out of this. I can't police my way out of the mental health issues. I can't police my way out of the homelessness. I can't police my way out of things that are happening if my hands and my deputies' hands are tied to be able to make arrests on people. We need to work together to be able to shift that and change that. Community engagement is a priority. We're talking about knocking on doors, okay? We need to be able to stand together behind our police agencies, okay? We need to stand together behind our police agencies. We need to build strong relationships. I'm going to tell you this, as a chief, as the number 4 person in this county, okay? I have demanded that our deputies utilize respect and dignity when they're talking to people, right? There are 3 reasons that you're in contact typically with law enforcement. Typically, most of them are negative. You're a victim of something. It's a bad day, right? You're a subject of something. Nobody wants to be, right? Nobody wants to be. Or you're a witness, which is probably even more frightening to people than to being a victim. Because they're afraid to speak up. They're afraid if they speak out against somebody, they're not going to be arrested and held accountable. So we want to make sure that our deputies, when they're coming to your homes, because you're calling, How many people have either done it themselves or heard where they say, I saw this thing, but I'm just not gonna call the police because nothing's going to happen? Right? I hear that every single day. I'm telling you, call. If you're talking about going and knocking on doors, okay, call the police. Oh, you're not coming out there. We will. It might not be as quick as you can, but we will. If I could personally hire the cops or the corrections deputies that were coming inside the jail, I know I can. It's not that I'm telling you what I might do, it's telling you what I can do, it's telling you what I demonstrated. I can do it, okay? So that's where we're at. And then finally, we need to, have this collective action. And so we need to go, okay, now that you got these people in jail, now that they're there and they're coming out, what are we doing with them? What are you gonna do with them once they get out? I mean, right now, they get out, there's nothing that's in place to be able to, make that transition. We're releasing people that are not viable citizens to our community. We need to work on that from the inside out. I've been able to bring in a substance use disorder class that would get people on the medication that they need, medicated assistance, so that when they're getting out, that's already there. With the hopes, now we can't, right? People are creatures, habits, right? With the hopes that they're not gonna just fall right back into that. But if we start something while we have them in the facility, then hopefully we can work from the inside out. So, I stand before you, I've done 35 years, okay, my degree is in psychology and communication. I've gone to the Corrections Academy, gone to the BLEA Academy, which was something that I just did. Again, BLEA is basic law enforcement, right? I know that you don't like acronyms, I can tell, you wanna know what that stands for, right? Basic Law Enforcement Academy, I went to that. I'm not gonna tell you what age I was, but I can tell you that I kicked some butt while I was up there. Number 3 out of the entire class, only because I didn't want to be number 1. Okay? You don't want to show off. That's about it. So, am I allowed to ask the questions? All right. Treat me right, Val. Treat me right, Pastor Val.
How long have you been here in Pierce County?
35 years. Oh, lived here in Pierce County? Most of my life.
I mean,
Working 35 years for the Pierce County Sheriff's Department.
I know this is nonpartisan race, but do you consider yourself a Republican or a Democrat?
Can't answer that question.
Why not?
Because of the fact that we have to be able to, if I'm gonna tell you that I'm gonna provide law enforcement for everybody in a unified area, I need to be able to provide law enforcement for everybody.
I need to know what your principles are and what you stand for.
I stand for taking care of the law. I stand for taking care of business, people that are committing crime. We arrest them, we take care of them. I stand for what's right for the people of Pierce County.
How do you see yourself with the Constitution of the United States and your position towards, I assume that you would be taking an oath to the Constitution of the United States
We do.
and enforcement of
Right.
that Constitution,
Right.
regardless of who it is?
Right. So that I think goes hand in hand with, that whole equitable. So you need to be able to cover.
Oh,
So
the
you're asking the
Constitution is
question?
the Constitution, it isn't.
Right.
It isn't black, it isn't white, it
Right.
isn't Mexican, it isn't Jew.
Correct.
So, the Constitution is, but the sheriff's constitutional duty is to enforce the Constitution of the United States.
Okay.
And so, your, constitutional understanding, do you feel that you are equipped enough if the mayor of, let's say, Tacoma, or anybody,
Right.
so violating the Constitution, you would feel confident enough to?
So I'm gonna answer you that question right there. So this is the beauty about an elected sheriff, right? You get to decide who your sheriff is. If the mayor is appointed, voted for, and get that type of, that they're voted for, it doesn't make them, right? It doesn't give them the right to break the law. And so as a sheriff, we have to make sure that we're treating everybody equitably, and this does not give them the right to break the law. And we will take care of that.
Do you put the Constitution over state law?
Tough gravel, come on.
Excellent question,
Yeah.
excellent question.
What's that? Well, I gotta watch myself. Okay, get out here, should be like, yeah, I was waiting for a second, I was thinking of the answer, so,
Sorry.
that's okay.
And I do know Patti Jackson as well, so.
Right, yeah, he knows me. So,
But I don't go easy on anybody.
no, you shouldn't.
So
I
the
am-
military made this concept of a lawful order,
That's right.
right? So
Right.
if you were given an order that was unlawful, it was your responsibility to not obey that order.
Right.
As superintendent of public
Right.
instruction, if I'm given an unconstitutional law, I'm gonna fight it in the courts.
Right, and so, and that is something that, and just piggybacking off you, not just taking your answer, one of the things that we do have to do is that we have to make certain that we are holding people accountable to what the law is, I get that, but there are also some things that are happening that get skirted, and I will tell you, for example, without, going down a rabbit hole, without getting, myself into trouble my first thing out at this thing where I am, I will tell you that what we tell all of our deputies is very close to what you said there, right? Uphold the law, take care of business. If you cross that line, we're gonna look at it. If it's something that you're doing to, right, maintain people's safety, their life, we're going to continue to do that. And I'm gonna fight for my deputies to do that. I'm gonna fight for my deputies to do the right thing, to be able to bring lawlessness, back into control where we can. And so, if something runs amok, that's on me. And I will stand before whoever it is that I need to stand for, and take whatever it is that I need to take, if I did something that was against what the state law is.
So do you,
Hold on, another question over here.
Patty, I think where people were going with this is that, the state of Washington has enacted several unconstitutional gun laws. Not only, not
Right.
only US Constitution, but the state constitution.
That's right,
And 30 out of 39 sheriffs have said they would not enforce
That's right.
those laws. So the question.
I think 31 now.
There you go.
Are you the 31st?
That's the question.
I'm not sure. We'll take it out of hold.
so to follow up on that question, the mandates, do you consider mandates laws, or do you just consider them a policy that is not a law?
Give me an example.
Face masks, COVID. Those were not laws, but we were being required to follow these laws. There were people out there
Right.
that said absolutely not, they're not laws, they're mandates.
That's right.
Is the sheriff gonna come and arrest us for not upholding a mandate?
Yeah. So I think that what we're doing is we're going down all this what if it's the COVID thing. I will tell you what we did do, if that helps. And so, we did not mandate the men and women on our department to take shot. We did not.
Yay.
It did not happen in the
Freedom.
Okay, freedom.
I wanted to ask you what your thoughts are on all this DEI we're getting. Are you ready for more of that, or maybe less of that?
So at the academy, at the state academy, that they're requiring all this DEI class, right? And then, we're also now going backwards, and we're saying, I want you to do this certain thing, and then they're doing it and they're not. So I don't think that the DEI stuff that's out there, I'm sorry, I don't think that people know what it is that they want. And so we're shifting like this every other day. I believe, and exactly what Brenda said earlier, when she was up here, I believe strongly that I am a person. I don't believe that when I go to a meeting, this is my personal belief, I don't believe when I go to a meeting that I should have to give you my pronouns and everything else, and that I'm gonna try to make somebody, right, identify themselves. How do you identify? Because to me, you're going ass backwards on what it is that you said you were doing. If I have a right to be who it is that I'm saying that I am, I should not have to embarrass myself to the crowd and say, I go by they, he, him, she, whatever it is that's out there.
Right.
So. Thank you very much for your time, I appreciate it all. I'm gonna piggyback again off of the dollars. I am very hopeful. I mean, campaigns, which I'm learning again, this is my first campaign, it is expensive. It is not a cheap sport. And so I do have envelopes, and I'm hopeful that you will take into consideration, the ability to be able to, donate. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Patty, I appreciate it.